This presentation is on behalf of Rob Astbury, sports commentator and journalist with the National 9 network. During the 20 years Rob's been in the radio and television industry, he's covered a wide variety of sports. But for the past 9 years, he's been specialising in Australian rules football. He now has a reputation for breaking stories and obtaining interviews which one would normally expect to read in the newspapers first.
This is National 9 News with Brian Naylor.
Our most famous football club facing bankruptcy on and off the field. The Sun joins the Space Spectaculars over the city, and the people of Carmel make his day. Good evening, and the crisis at Collingwood heads the bulletin. The club has serious financial problems, with players told to take a 20% pay cut. Rob Astbury uncovered this story.
After being demoralised in 3 matches, Collingwood find themselves out of the Foster's Cup and second last on the premiership ladder. The effect on the club's revenue has been catastrophic, with the anticipated budget already $300,000 below expectations. Membership sales are down dramatically by $1,500 or $60,000. Social club revenue and the sale of reserve seats are also down. The club's marketing results are disappointing, and this morning Jennifer Croswell was forced to resign, while other support staff have also been sacked.
Oh, certainly, I think we will.
Already this season, President Ranald McDonald, Coach Bobby Rose and other officials have personally contributed $150,000 to the club to set an example. The desperate position was explained to the players last night.
The players last night, by a vast majority, accepted a 20% cut in their total packages as a group. The 10% of that would be returned if we made the finals.
Soon after Rob broke the Collingwood pay cut story, the football world was shocked with the exit of key Collingwood officials. Rob Astbury was the first to interview sacked General Manager Peter Bain and Bob Rose, who resigned as coach.
Good evening, and the axe has finally swung at Collingwood. Out is President Ranald McDonald, Coach Bobby Rose and General Manager Peter Bain. Assistant coach Lee Matthews has been appointed coach as the club attempts to lift itself back up the ladder. Rob Astbury is at Victoria Park.
Well, Brian, there was no official announcement, no spokesman. Shortly after 5 o'clock, this piece of paper, a press release, was handed to me. It confirmed that Ranald McDonald has resigned as president, board member and vice president Alan McAllister was appointed interim president, Bobby Rose steps down as coach, and Lee Matthews takes over. General manager Peter Bain was sacked. I spoke to Mr. Bain as he was about to leave his office for the last time.
I thought the people involved in making the decision lacked the courage to fight out, which was a crisis situation. I felt that, you know, that was a sort of, you know, giving in sort of an attitude to the pressures that they must have been under. But obviously, you know, they had to make that decision under the pressures they had, and in that sense I felt it was slightly cowardly, but beyond that I accept it totally.
It's my own decision, by the way, to resign as coach. I just feel that I've burst a boiler, to put it in the old terms, to have success on the field, and I'm terribly disappointed that I haven't been able to do that, and I feel that this is the time. If Lee Matthews is ever going to be appointed coach of Collingwood, then I think this is the time now.
Here now are some of the stories Rob broke during this year, with exclusive interviews. All proved to be stories of major interest and were followed up by newspapers and other television stations.
Champion Geelong footballer Gary Ablett is ready to return to his club with a new supporter at his side. The high-flying forward has found God, and he says it's made him a new man. But in this exclusive interview with Rob Astbury, Ablett says he'll become an aggressive Christian the moment he runs on the footy field.
In recent weeks, Gary Ablett and the Geelong Football Club have been through a crisis. Apart from a crippling knee and shoulder injuries, Gary and his coach John Devine have been at loggerheads. In fact, Devine has publicly criticised Ablett's attitude to the game. But unbeknown to football fans, Gary has been undergoing a personal test of strength. He's become a fervent supporter of the Baptist Church in Geelong and, in his own words, a born-again Christian. Is it correct that you're a born-again Christian?
Yes, it is. That's true, Rob.
And you're proud of that?
Yeah, I'm very proud of that.
Well, has it affected your football?
No, it certainly hasn't affected my football. It has, you know, changed my life for the better.
But what about your aggression on the field?
No, Rob, as soon as I cross that line every Saturday, my aggression for the ball is there, and, you know, I realise that once you're out there playing football, your Christianity is irrelevant.
Today, after 3 hours of talks between Ablett, his manager Peter Jess, and Geelong coach John Devine, any rift between the club and Ablett appears to have been settled. In fact, Devine himself admitted that his public criticism of Gary was intended not to hurt him personally, but to motivate his skills. Super cool, but super shy. And that's the way Bruce Doyle has been since he was recruited by Carlton in 1969. Last Saturday, he joined the elite company of former Richmond great Kevin Bartlett and Fitzroy champion Bernie Quinlan, the only men ever to play 350 VFL games. But Doyle's road to the top wasn't easy, as explained by Carlton coach Robert Walls.
Bruce had to serve a fairly lengthy apprenticeship in league football. He played under 19s for a year or two, and he played in the reserves for a couple of years before he broke into the senior team. And it really wasn't until 71 that he started to become a regular member of the side. And I guess a lot of people would be surprised, but I think it's a good lesson for young players that Bruce, he worked at it, he persevered, and his skills developed as he got older. And well, of course, now 350 games on, and grand finals and premierships, and he's still playing great football.
The 1982 Grand Final was one of the few occasions Bruce seemed to lose his cool when an Adelaide stripper singled him out in front of 100,000 fans.
Couldn't believe it, couldn't believe it. I just got out of her way and she headed for Warren Jones.
The shy defender is certainly one of football's enigmas. He has never sought publicity, it has sought him, and he's always firmly declined interviews with the news media. But last Saturday, the tributes were glowing from one and all.
Oh, it's certainly a big day, Rob, and I brought the family along today. We don't get to many league games, but to see a guy play 350 league games, it's a fantastic effort.
I think he's one of the greatest footballers ever played football.
Well, coming from Kevin Murray's father, that's a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, I admire him.
He is the greatest defender of the modern era.
After Saturday's game, club president John Elliott made a presentation to Doyle.
Now, listen carefully, he doesn't make them too often.
I'd like to thank all the players for their efforts today. It's a terrific win for us all. Over all the years, I'd like to thank the club for having me here, and certainly wouldn't have played this many games without the calibre of players that have been here, as well as the coaches.
OK, well, looking to tomorrow's game now, a big match indeed, and what chance of getting any tickets?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because the face value, it is a sellout incidentally, the face value of these seat tickets is $22, but the scalpers at the moment are asking $100. That's the going rate at the moment.
Excuse me, Rob, did you say $100?
$100, John.
That seems fair enough to me. Thanks very much.
Good,
mate.
good.
Excuse me, Mr. Astbury, you're under arrest.
Back to you, JG.
Rob Astbury, joined by John Blackman in Melbourne.